There's a quiet, unbreakable force inside each of us, something that fuels us when everything around us is crumbling, when the world seems to doubt us, and when the odds are stacked against our favor. It's that resilience, that unwavering spirit that refuses to be defeated, that whispers even in our darkest moments. You are stronger than this. It's the part of you that rises after every fall, that keeps believing when hope feels distant, and that reminds you that no matter how many storms come your way, you were born to stand tall. Today, we're not just talking about survival. We're talking about thriving through adversity, about discovering the extraordinary strength that lies within, and about embracing your divine power to bounce back and move forward, no matter what. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever felt like your dreams, your prayers, and your hopes are stuck in a holding pattern? Like you're waiting endlessly for that breakthrough, that promise, that blessing, but it just seems to be out of reach. Today, I want to remind you of a powerful truth. When God delays, He's not denying you. Sometimes life feels like a waiting room, a place where time seems to stretch endlessly. You've been praying, dreaming, hoping, and yet nothing seems to move. You look around and wonder if your efforts are in vain, if your prayers are falling on deaf ears. It's easy to get caught up in the frustration of waiting, to believe that maybe, just maybe, the door has closed for good. But I want you to understand something fundamental today. God's delays are never denials. They are part of His divine plan, crafted with love and purpose, even when you can't see it. When we face delays, it's natural to feel disheartened. We begin to question the very foundation of our faith. We wonder if we're doing something wrong or if perhaps we've missed the mark altogether. The enemy loves to whisper doubts into our ears, convincing us that our efforts are futile, that our dreams are just too big, too impossible, or simply not meant for us. But what if I told you that the delay itself is a sign of God's deep love and care? That He's not ignoring your prayers, but is instead orchestrating a masterpiece behind the scenes. Imagine sitting in a quiet theater watching a masterful film unfold. You see the beginning and you see the end, but in the middle, there's a lot of silence, a lot of waiting. It's in that silence where the magic happens. That's the space where preparation takes place. That's the space where character is built. It's easy to celebrate the victories, but the real growth happens during those silent, unseen moments of waiting. It's where your faith is stretched, where your patience is tested, and where your perseverance is developed. Think about the natural world for a moment. A seed is planted in the soil, but it doesn't sprout overnight. There's a process. Roots grow deep, water nourishes it, and it pushes through the earth at just the right time. If the seed gave up too soon, it would never become the mighty tree it was meant to be. The delay in sprouting isn't rejection, it's divine timing. The same applies to your life. Sometimes you're in a season of underground growth, unseen but vital for your future flourishing. When we embrace this truth, that delays are part of divine timing, it shifts our entire perspective. Instead of frustration, we begin to see waiting as an act of trust. It's a declaration that we believe in the sovereignty of a higher plan. It's an acknowledgement that we don't have all the pieces, but someone does. It's an act of surrender, a sign that we're willing to trust the process even when it's uncomfortable. Because trusting God means leaning not on our own understanding, but in all our ways acknowledging Him, confident that He will direct our paths. Yet, trusting in this divine timing demands a level of patience that often feels unnatural. We live in a world that celebrates instant gratification. It's where everything is available at the click of a button. We're conditioned to want quick results, immediate answers, and rapid success. But spiritual growth and divine breakthroughs rarely operate on our timetable. They require patience, endurance, and unwavering faith. It's in that waiting that our character is refined. We learn to stand firm, to hold on to hope even when the evidence seems to suggest otherwise, and to trust that the delay is a part of a bigger picture that we can't yet see. The truth is, every delay has a reason. Sometimes it's about giving us time to develop our skills, to mature in our faith, or to prepare ourselves for what's coming. Other times, delays are about positioning us in the right environment or with the right people. It's about aligning every detail so that when the blessing arrives, it's not just a fleeting moment, but a sustainable, life-changing experience. We have to realize that God's delays are divine setups for our future, not obstacles blocking our path. In moments of waiting, it's easy to feel forgotten, overlooked, or abandoned. But I want to remind you that God's love for you is unwavering. His delays are never a reflection of His disinterest or rejection. Instead, they are an expression of His deep care, His desire to bless you in a way that will truly transform your life. When you're in the middle of waiting, remember that He is working on your behalf behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail for your good. It's about shifting your mindset from why is it taking so long to what is He teaching me in this season. Every delay is an opportunity to grow stronger in faith, to develop resilience, and to deepen your trust in His perfect plan. It's a time to focus on what you can control, your attitude, your perspective, your faith, and to recognize that even in the pause, God is present. He's refining you, shaping you, and preparing you for what's next. So don't rush the process. Don't get discouraged when the door doesn't open immediately. Instead, lean into the truth that God is working on your behalf, even when you can't see it. His delays are a sign of His love and His commitment to giving you the best. Trust that the wait is worth it, because what's coming is worth the patience, the faith, and the perseverance you're cultivating now. Keep believing, keep praying, and keep trusting, because the divine timing is always better than our own. You see, in life, we often look for signs, for confirmations that we're on the right path. We seek reassurance from the outside world, approval, validation, applause, hoping that these external cues will tell us we're moving in the right direction. But what if the real confirmation comes from within? What if the most powerful validation is knowing that even in the midst of delays, setbacks, and uncertainties, you are still on the right track because you haven't given up? That's where true faith is tested and strengthened. It's in those moments of waiting when everything around you seems still that your character is being forged. Think about the biblical figures who waited patiently for their promises. They weren't just waiting passively, they were actively trusting, actively believing, actively holding on to hope. Their patience was a declaration that they believed in a higher plan, even when the evidence pointed to the contrary. It's easy to trust when things are unfolding smoothly, when doors are opening left and right, and blessings are flowing. But the real test of faith is trusting when everything seems to be at a standstill, when the evidence suggests that your dreams may never come true. That's where divine strength is built, where resilience is cultivated. When you face delays, you're given a choice. You can allow the frustration to consume you, or you can choose to see the delay as an opportunity to develop your character, to deepen your faith, to grow in patience. It's in these moments that you learn to lean not on your own understanding, but to acknowledge that there's a divine purpose behind every pause. You learn to trust that the process is working for your good, even when the evidence appears to be contrary. Every delay is a lesson in perseverance, a chance to build endurance, and a reminder that your timing isn't always aligned with divine timing, but that's okay, because divine timing is perfect. Sometimes delays are about preparation. They're about equipping you with the skills, the wisdom, and the resilience you need to handle what's coming next. It's like a refining fire. What's burned away is the unnecessary, the superficial, the things that don't matter in the grand scheme. What remains is pure, strong, and ready. When you're in that season of waiting, it's essential to ask yourself, what am I learning in this moment? How am I growing? Because growth doesn't happen in the rush. It happens in the patience, in the quiet perseverance, in the willingness to keep going when others might give up. Think about this: delayed gratification is often a sign what you're waiting for is worth the wait. It's about quality over quantity, depth over surface. When you're willing to wait, you're signaling to the universe, to life, to the divine that you're serious about what you're asking for. You're not just after a quick fix or a temporary solution. You're committed to lasting, meaningful change. That kind of patience and persistence is what separates those who see their dreams come to fruition from those who give up just before the breakthrough. It's easy to get discouraged when the road is long, when the journey is hard, and when it feels like every step forward is met with 2 steps back. But every delay is an invitation to press deeper into faith. It's an invitation to trust that the process is shaping you, preparing you, and positioning you for something greater than you can imagine. It's about embracing the silence, the stillness, the waiting, knowing that God is working behind the scenes. Sometimes the best things in life are worth waiting for, and the most valuable lessons are learned in the process of patience. Trusting in divine timing requires a shift in perspective. It's about understanding that every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every closed door is a redirection. Every delay is a divine delay. When you look at your life through this lens, you begin to see the beauty in the waiting. You see that your character is being built brick by brick, that your faith is being strengthened in ways that cannot be measured by external success alone. Patience becomes a virtue, and resilience becomes your armor. You see, delayed seasons are not the end of the story. They're often the beginning of a new chapter, one that's better, richer, and more aligned with your purpose. You have to learn to celebrate the small victories in the waiting. Celebrate the fact that you haven't given up. Celebrate that you're still standing. Celebrate that your faith remains intact even when everything else seems to be falling apart. Because persistence in the face of delay is what will propel you into the fullness of your destiny. When you realize that delays aren't denials, when you learn to trust the process, you begin to walk with a new confidence. You start to see setbacks as setups. You begin to understand that every moment of waiting is preparing you for what's next. Resilience becomes your best friend, and hope becomes your anchor. You learn that God's delays are just His way of ensuring that when blessings come, they come in a way that will sustain you, uplift you, and transform you from the inside out. In the midst of this, don't forget that your faith is a powerful force. It's what keeps you anchored when the storms come. It's what keeps you moving when the road is rough. Faith is the bridge that connects your present reality with the future you're believing for. And faith is built in those quiet, unseen moments of waiting. It's cultivated in the decision to trust, even when every part of you wants to give up. That's where true strength is formed, when you choose to believe in a promise, even when the evidence suggests otherwise. So hold on to your faith. Hold on to hope. Remember that every delay is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Every moment of waiting is a moment of preparation. Every setback is a setup for an even greater comeback. Keep your eyes fixed on the promise, knowing that what's coming is worth the wait. Because when you're willing to embrace the process, you position yourself for the divine breakthroughs that are on their way. Your patience is planting seeds for a future harvest, and what you're cultivating now will blossom in due time. Trust the process, stay steadfast, and know that your season of abundance is on the horizon, waiting for you to be ready to receive it. There is a power that lies within you that is often underestimated, a strength that is sometimes overlooked because it's wrapped in humility, wrapped in vulnerability, wrapped in the quiet moments when you feel like giving up. That power is your resilience, a force that refuses to be broken, a tenacity that refuses to be defeated. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back from setbacks. It's about bouncing forward, about emerging stronger, wiser, and more determined each time life tries to push you down. It's about standing tall amidst the chaos, about holding on to hope when everything around you seems to be crumbling. Resilience begins with a mindset, a decision to keep going, to keep believing, even when everything is telling you to stop. It's about cultivating that inner fire that refuses to be extinguished by disappointment, by failure, by fear. It's about understanding that setbacks are not the end of your story, but rather a part of your story's growth. Every obstacle, every challenge, every delay is an opportunity to develop a deeper strength, a more persistent faith. And the truth is, resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop. It's a muscle that grows stronger the more you exercise it. The more you choose to get up after falling, the more resilient you become. Think about the stories of those who have gone before you, those who faced insurmountable odds and yet refused to give up. Their resilience was born out of a deep conviction that their dreams were worth fighting for. It was rooted in the belief that their purpose was greater than their pain, that their destiny was worth every struggle. Resilience is born from a willingness to face the storm, to withstand the winds of adversity, and to emerge on the other side with a renewed sense of purpose and hope. It's about embracing the discomfort, knowing that growth often happens in the uncomfortable places. Resilience is also about perspective. When life throws its hardest punches, you have two choices. You can let the punches knock you out, or you can stand tall and use those punches as fuel to push you forward. Every setback can be a setup for a comeback if you choose to see it that way. It's about learning to see obstacles as opportunities for growth, not as reasons to quit. It's about shifting your mindset from "why me?" to "what's next?" Because every challenge is an invitation to grow stronger, to develop grit, to deepen your faith. You see, resilience isn't just about enduring, it's about evolving. It's about taking each experience, each disappointment, each failure, and using it as a stepping stone toward your purpose. It's about understanding that what you're going through is shaping you into the person you're destined to become. The strongest people are not those who have never fallen, but those who have fallen and refuse to stay down. They are the ones who take their scars and turn them into badges of honor, symbols of their perseverance. In moments when you feel like giving up, remember that resilience is born in those moments of vulnerability. It's okay to feel tired, to feel overwhelmed, to feel like you've reached your limit. But it's also a sign that you're growing. That's when you lean into your faith, into your community, into the truth that you are more than a conqueror. You are a fighter, not because you never fall, but because you always get back up. Resilience is the evidence that your spirit refuses to be defeated, that your hope refuses to be snuffed out by temporary circumstances. It's a declaration that no matter what, you're still standing. Think about the times you've overcome before, those moments when you felt like giving up, but chose instead to push through. Those are the moments when resilience was cultivated. Those are the moments that built your character. You may not have seen it at the time, but each victory, each lesson learned from failure, each time you chose faith over fear added layers to your strength. And the more layers you add, the more unshakable you become. Resilience is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets, and the more you realize that you are capable of enduring more than you ever thought possible. Resilience also teaches you humility. It reminds you that you're not invincible, that you need help sometimes, that it's okay to lean on others, to ask for support, and to acknowledge that you don't have all the answers. Resilience isn't about pretending you're okay when you're not. It's about being honest about your struggle and choosing to keep moving forward despite it. It's about recognizing that strength is not the absence of vulnerability, but the courage to face it head on. When you embrace vulnerability, you open the door for growth, for healing, and for true resilience to flourish. The journey of resilience is not one you walk alone. You need community, encouragement, and support. You need people who will remind you of your worth when you forget it. You need to surround yourself with those who inspire you to keep going, who see potential when you see weakness. Remember, even the strongest trees need support to withstand the storms. You are no different. Your resilience can be strengthened by faith, by community, and by an unwavering belief in your purpose. Resilience also involves forgiving yourself. Sometimes we carry the weight of regret, shame, or guilt for past mistakes. We beat ourselves up because we didn't get it right the first time, or because we fell short of our expectations. But resilience is about forgiving yourself. It's about giving yourself grace to grow, to learn, and to become better. It's about understanding that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. Every mistake is a lesson. Every fall is an opportunity to rise stronger. So the question becomes, what is your resilience story? What moment in your life did you think you couldn't survive but did? What obstacle did you face that seemed impossible but you overcame? Your history of resilience is your greatest testimony. It's proof that you are more than capable of weathering storms, of facing fears, and of emerging victorious. Resilience is not just a trait, it's a lifestyle, an attitude that says, no matter what, I refuse to give up on my dreams, my purpose, it's my calling. And as you walk this journey, remember that resilience is a gift, but it's also a choice. It's a choice to keep moving forward even when the path is uncertain, even when the road is rough. It's a choice to trust that the process is shaping you into who you're meant to be. It's a choice to believe that your best days are ahead, that your victory is already on its way, and that your resilience will carry you through every season. The storms may come and go, but your resilience will remain, standing tall as a testament to your strength and your faith. Keep pressing forward, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity to grow, every setback a setup for a comeback, and every fall an invitation to rise higher. Your resilience is your secret weapon, your divine advantage, and the proof that you are more than a conqueror.